Hello, everyone. How's it going today? Whew. I'm like out of breath. I've just been running around, getting things ready. It's been a wonderful day here at Allegory Gallery. It is our 14th anniversary. Wow, that is kind of incredible. I don't know where the time has gone. It feels like 14 years, but it kind of feels like a lot less, but then sometimes it feels like a lot more. But we started Allegory Gallery in 2011. 2011, it feels like forever ago. But we're still here, and we have all of you to thank for that. So thank you all so much for all of your support, all of your friendship over the years. You know, we have made lots of friends over the years. We have lost friends. We have, people have passed away, and our hearts go out to all of them. Andrew and I often reflect on the people, who've had a big impact on us. And, whether people are still here, whether people are not, they are not forgotten. And, we appreciate each and every one of you who has gotten us to this point. We appreciate all of you who watch our lives every day and keep us going. That's the main, as many of you know, since you all watch pretty often, that's our main source of selling right now is our lives. So, that kind of the support that you show us here by sharing, by purchasing when you can, by letting your friends know, by, clicking the like, the love, the thumbs ups, all of those things, it helps so much and really helps keep everything going. Let me say hi to those of you who are here. I didn't even get to share this on Facebook yet. It's been, whew. Marianne is here. Hello, Marianne. Says happy anniversary. Thank you so much. Kimberly is here. Hello, Kimberly. Thank you for joining us. Teresa is here. I'm glad you're here, Teresa, because I have some things today from Harry that we're going to show you all, and I know you have dibs on one of these. So I'm glad that you're here for that. Let's see here. Who else is here with us? If you're out there, say hi. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Marianne said sideways already. I know, we're just starting out the show sideways, right? Teresa's happy 14th anniversary. Thank you so much. Happy anniversary, says Kimberly. Thank you, thank you. Susie is with us. Hello, hello. We have Sparkles. Sparkles with us. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Susan is here. Hello. Thank you for joining us again. We have a lot to look at today. So it's our 14th anniversary. That in itself is a huge thing. Many of you have been with us for a long time. Some of you don't know the beginning and how Allegory really got started. I thought for those of you who may not know, I'd tell you a little story to get this all started and to get the show going a little bit. Gina, that's right. Gina. Hello, Gina. I know you've been with us. I was trying to, in the back of my mind, when saying Sparkles, I'm like, what is their real name? Gina. Thank you for joining us. So it'll take me a while to match screen names with names. So please continue reminding me what your name is, because I will get it at some point. It'll connect. So Allegory Gallery started in 2011. And, when I was a kid, neither Andrew nor I had a lot of money growing up. We don't come from families that have a lot of money. Anything that my family and his family have gotten, it's because they've worked very hard for it. And so we didn't grow up spoiled in any way. It wasn't that kind of thing. And so, in my mind, I always thought that, sorry, I'm going to move these bowls because I don't want them to fall over as I'm pushing things around here. In my mind, my mom and dad often worked for small businesses. And I watched, growing up, the owners of those small businesses, succeed in a lot of ways, but also have hard times in a lot of ways. And Andrew's family, his dad had his own landscaping business, so it was his own small business that he worked in. And the whole family pitched in to help. And so, kind of small business is in both of our blood in a way. And when I was growing up, my cousin and I had, we used to like to play business together. We'd play doctors, and I think a lot of kids do that. You'd play supermarket, you play doctors, you play small business, you play like you're a teacher, you're teaching, you're a professor. Those kind of things, it's funny to me, like doctor, teacher, those are the kind of things that, I think kids grow up thinking about and wanting to be. But in our family, because so much, my cousin and I both had small business families. My dad, for a while, owned his own garage with his brothers, and they did auto body work and mechanical work for cars and trucks. And my cousin came from that too. That was her dad, who was one of the owners of that. And, we grew up not only thinking highly of doctors and lawyers, but also thinking very highly of small business owners. And so when we were very young, we both asked for Christmas to get briefcases, like hard-sided briefcases, because we wanted to play business, and we thought you needed a hard-sided briefcase to be in business. And we would buy the pretend money, and we had stamps and ledger books and yellow notepads, yellow line notepads, and we carried those around in those briefcases, and we played business anytime we got together. And so hey, Jen's here. Hello, Jen, Giggly Gypsy. Thanks for joining us. I saw you tried your hand in a tutorial out there. Jen's been working on some things on her business, the Giggly Gypsy. So I grew up, kind of manifesting the idea that I wanted my own business. But, then life happens and you start doing other things. Like we went to school. Andrew said, who knew spreadsheets would be in your future? I know, right? You go to school, you learn the things in school, you usually inevitably work for someone else during that. That's just, when you don't have a lot of money in your family, you get on this path of having to work for other people. And I think, the majority of people do that. They work for someone else. And so going through school, I got scholarships through school. I was lucky enough to go to college. I studied things that I enjoyed. I studied language in college. Andrew did art in college, and studied collage and fine art and painting and mixed media. And, we were both working for other people when we met in New York City. And, I had worked for a lot of small businesses throughout that time, my time in New York, the time before that. And I just still had this love for small business. And Andrew and I met. I moved to working for Apple. Apple was, I think, it was the second corporation, large corporation that I had worked for. All my other jobs had been small businesses up until that point. And, we left New York, we came back here, and that's so that I could spend more time with my grandparents. His had already passed. He knew how much it meant to me to spend more time with mine. And we came back this way. We had a nice soft spot to land. We were living out on 90 acres, renting from my aunt, who had a nice place for us to kind of fall into. And we drove by this place every single day on my way to work. And we kept seeing them do things to this building. It was somebody's house. They kept adding ramps, and we would see things being remodeled, and we had no idea what was happening. And they put up a sign saying Northern Chinese restaurant coming soon. And so immediately we like took the email and the sign, wrote them an email and said, please let us know when you open. We can't wait. Because out in here, that's a rare thing. We were used to, all kinds of cuisine and food in New York, and coming back this way, it was more limited, especially at that time. And we were ready for it. So we ended up, they ended up messaging us by email at like 2 in the morning, I think the morning before, or the 2 in the morning, the night before they opened. And we just happened to still be awake since we're night people. And we had to go. The restaurant was called Mountain Palace. It was amazing. They have since closed their restaurant, unfortunately for us, but they've moved on to other things. And we were their first customers. I think we were their only customers that day. They had amazing dumplings and hot pots and wonderful things. And we just spent the evening with them talking and chatting and carrying on. Let me check comments in case I'm missing anybody. Jen says, yeah, on the struggle bus for the tutorial. It's not as easy editing and doing tutorials, is it? No, it is definitely not. Marianne says, I picked berries to make a little money to spend on the family 2-week vacation. We spent a lot of time fishing. Nice. Nice. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Hello, Marianne, by the way. And Teresa's tuning in. Hello, Teresa. Thank you. Other Teresa, thank you for joining us. So we spent the evening there. And, we were just kind of getting to know the area. Just about the week before, we had come down to Ligonier, which I had no idea. I grew up kind of in this area, but this was kind of far for us to travel. There wasn't a lot over this way that we normally traveled to as a family. So the only time I actually came out this way was sometimes my brother had baseball games, and we would do our ski trips. There are several ski resorts out this way. When I was in high school, I joined ski club because I didn't think it was nothing that my family could ever do. So I joined ski club because I thought that would be fun. And so we would take ski trips, and mostly the only time I ever saw Ligonier was to pass through it at night, usually for ski trips. And so I had no idea when we moved down this way where exactly we were. And it didn't dawn on me to look at a map. I kind of knew the other direction. So, Andrew and I always drove the other way to get our groceries and to do things. And so we had just the week before realized that Ligonier was down here. So we decided to take a walk around, and we met some of the shopkeepers and all that. And so after being at Mountain Palace that evening, we ate a lot of dumplings, like a lot. And we needed to work it off, right? So, being a little bit younger back then and feistier maybe, we decided to go out and dance that night, have a few drinks and dance. We drank back then and we danced back then. So we went up to Johnstown, and we started hanging out with some friends up there and having a few drinks, and then started dancing. And partway through the night, one of the shopkeepers from Ligonier was actually there. We had never, we'd been there a few times before. We'd never seen them there before. And they came up to us, and pretty much the first thing they asked were, do you remember me? And do you want to start a shop? And Andrew's immediate answer was no. And mine was, well, let's think about this. But there was an opportunity to open a store. And Andrew and I had been discussing doing an online store first. Allegory Gallery was actually not going to be called Allegory Gallery. We had a different name picked out. Some of you may know that. We don't talk about that very often because it's still something we might do down the line. But we had a different name picked out, and we were going to create things and have an online store. And then maybe someday in the far future, if the online store took off, we were going to have a physical store. Well, we flipped that on its head because after talking, we came home that night and started kind of daydreaming about it, or night dreaming at that point. And by the next day, we were down there with tape measures, and we were kind of measuring out the space. And that is how it got started. It was, I believe that it was a manifestation of, we used to dream about these things, and we would talk about what we would do if we could. And me growing up playing small business and just putting that out into the world, I do believe that we manifested Allegory Gallery. And I believe that it came out from what we wanted to do. And we had no idea back then what it would turn into, how long it would go, if we would make it. We still don't know to this day. We're a little bit more sure that we can make it now. But, back then I was still working another job to pay the bills. And Andrew was running the shop, pretty much 7 days a week. And we have always been very fortunate in that, we've never been in the red in the business. The business has always covered itself. And we had a 5-year plan for the business to also cover our lives, that I would be able to leave my job. And we did that in 4 years. And from that point on, things had gotten better and better, until things started to plateau and the pandemic really changed a lot of things. So, that we still do not feel the same vibrance for a physical store community as we used to from before the pandemic. We don't see people coming back and doing the things that they used to do yet. Now, we've also moved the store, so that also may have something to do with it, with people finding us and wanting to do things. But we have heard this from many people, that it's just still not there yet. And we are still working to build that. So, Allegory Gallery in its 14th year, we still have a physical store. And we feel very fortunate to be able to do that. And that's not, without a lot of help. We've had a lot of help to get our store going, to keep it going. Very kind people out there helping in varied and many ways. And we're so thankful for everything. And our online store is also still going. And we work really hard to split our time, trying to make both things successful. They are, sometimes it's thought of as one and the same, but they are very different animals. They're very different creatures from one another, the physical store and the online store. And all that it takes to kind of bring them together, and also, keep them separate, because, they have to be treated as different things. But they are under one umbrella. And so we can't feel more fortunate for being here, for having all of you out there who continue to help us manifest this dream that began 14 years ago today. We had our grand opening in Ligonier on September 15th, 2011. And it's kind of been an amazing ride. And we've met so many amazing people along the way. And we just want to thank you all for that. And hopefully who knows what the future is going to bring, and who knows what we're going to be able to do and continue to do. But I'm looking forward to many, many more years of, doing these things that we love to do with all of you. Let's see here. Jen says, no, you are the master. No, no, I am no editing or tutorial master, but I think we worked well together. We got a lot done together. Let's see here. Jen says, and it's lame, people completely disconnected. Oh, with the pandemic, yes, people did disconnect. And getting that connection going again has been difficult, but we believe in community. We believe that people want to be together. We believe that people want to hang out with each other, and people want to get to know their neighbors again. I fully believe that. And if it's not true, then I'm going to continue believing it so that we can manifest it. Because, I think that's what a lot of things are lacking right now. We are lacking that connection with other people, and getting to know people, and seeing what other people go through in their lives. It's easy to believe that people have the same options and the same choices and the same luck and the same difficulties as we do, but everyone's different, and everyone faces different challenges. And what's hard for someone is not hard for someone else, and that's where community really comes together and can support one another. When somebody's having a difficult time doing this thing, someone else knows how to do it. Someone else can help them with it. And that's really, why we continue to push to have the physical store. At this point, Allegory Gallery could easily function with no physical store. It would probably be easier, to be 100% transparent. It would probably be easier not to have the physical store. But having a physical store not only helps, kind of helps people take us more seriously, because there is a difference between, we see a difference when we tell people we have an online business versus when we tell people we have a store, a brick and mortar. We get treated differently by our suppliers. People, not people who supply, they know us now, but people who we meet and who are potential suppliers, they will treat a physical store completely different, and usually better. And we've seen that. And so it not only helps us to still have it, but it also enables us to empower other people. So we can have art shows in a physical store, and when we have an art show that shows someone's artwork, they can put that on their CV as a show that they put on in a physical location. And for artists and makers, still, as robust as the internet is, and as wonderfully as you can do an online show and exhibition, it still is the same thing on the other side, in that when people see that you've been in a physical location, even if they have no idea what that gallery is or what they do, the fact that you have a gallery on your CV and at a physical location where you did a show, really, really helps. And we've seen it time and time again. So when we have people, who are up and coming, or friends that, are trying to get their foot in the door, and we can do a show or a group show with them, it really helps. And so Allegory Gallery, the physical space, is not there because it is, bringing in a lot of, bringing in a lot of people, bringing in a lot of money. It's there because it is something that we feel is necessary. It's something that we believe in. It's something that we think will build community, that community is needed, and that does help other people. And that's why we do it. And that's why we continue to do it. That could change at any point in time. It may come to a point where we have to make that decision. We hope not. But at this moment, it's celebrating 14 years, and it's an amazing thing, how we've grown and how we've changed. I wrote a post about this earlier today, and Andrew wrote a sweet post about it and me and the store and what we've done together. But we started in that one small space in Ligonier in 2011, and we outgrew it in about a year and a half. We moved into a larger space. We were there for about 5 years. We moved into an even larger space. And then we moved into a bigger city, just to have, more potential of reaching more people. And in that same time, we had an annex space. We called it the Allegory Gallery Annex. Some of you may remember that. That was a short-lived space because the space was not perfect for us. But it was a space where we hosted classes when they outgrew the size of what our shop could handle on its own. And so we had, calendars for a while and schedules where we had separate classes being taught out there at the annex. It was just a few miles away from the shop here, still in town. And it was a fun space. It just didn't suit our needs for the time period that we were in. It was a little challenging, and people, it shouldn't have been hard to find, but people got confused a lot. So we ended up having a lot of our classes just pared down to the store then. But we did have that for a while. We have Star Cottage Studio that we got in the meantime, which is still our metalworking and filming studio and where we ship from for our online store. So we've really grown, and when you look back on all that we've done, I'm pretty proud of it. And we're, again, so thankful that you empower us to do all of this. Danette is here. Hello, Danette. Thanks for joining us. Jen says, pish posh, I need to touch my beads and stones. You would think more people need to do that, but where are the people? They need to come out and see us at 608 Grove Avenue in Johnstown, right? Hopefully they'll continue to do that. But it's been a good ride, and we enjoy it, and we're so thankful for it all. We are today, not only is it our 14th anniversary, but this week begins our Small Business Boost Fundraiser. So I have I'm loving making these little graphics with our cats using AI. And you can say what you want about AI, but they make dang cute little cat graphics. So the Small Business Boost Fundraiser, that's our fundraiser that we are trying very hard to raise money for a buyout. So we have friends who are doing some warehouse buyouts, and we are trying quickly to raise money to do that. And also, so part of it is to raise money to do that. Part of it is to raise money to just pay our bills while, normal money making that we need to do. And so, well, hello.
Howdy.
Did you want to come up here? I made you a seat.
No.
No? You're not going to stay?
No. It's too hard. This is like a church pew up here.
Here,
so it was interesting to hear William's account of how he started this store, because it's slightly different.
Oh, different
in my
than
recollection.
Different for you?
Well, he glazed over the point where I had cancer.
Yes.
And how we had actually paid off of our medical bills that night when we found out about Mountain Palace, and so we were going to celebrate. That's why we're up, because
we're always up though. But
yeah, but we were up because we were going to celebrate paying off the medical bills, and then so then we met Clay and Lacey, and they filled our heads with all kinds of stories. But one of the reasons why I said no originally is because I was still recovering from being sick. And he said that we had only been in Ligonier for a week, and it was more like a year.
No, I didn't say a week, but it was a week before that we had been to Ligonier.
Oh.
Just that when they came up to us in the bar, it was like, oh, we just met you. But do you want to start a store?
We had met before.
Yeah.
For a year or so, at least. Because wherever there's a little bookstore, I'll always find it. Yeah. So, anyways, it's been interesting. And then he is real nice about how he phrased some of this stuff. Like, one of the reasons why the annex space didn't work out is because somebody kept stealing our toilet paper. and they changed the locks on the bathroom.
Yeah, I was trying not to go too, but yeah,
I'm gonna dish the tea.
we had no toilet paper. They changed the locks. We
Well, I
couldn't
brought
actually.
a huge. So we didn't have any money back then. So we used to. We still kind of do this now, but we used to reuse like pieces of paper and stuff. And
You sure you don't want to sit in this chair?
no, I'm
To
not
put
gonna
your foot
stay
up.
too long.
Okay.
So we used to reuse stuff, and like everything was real. So we also applied for a small business loan. He forgot this part. Or I went to the bank and I brought the business plan to talk about.
That was when we first started, yeah.
And it was like in June of that year. And the bank manager basically laughed in my face and said that we'd be closed in 6 months.
Literally laughed him out.
And that bank's no longer there. They've been closed for a long time. But we're still here somehow.
I know, right?
But so anyways, we started with very little. And that annex space, like I bought this huge thing of toilet paper and they stole it.
And we couldn't shut off the heat to the room.
Well, everybody had blocked the vents in their spaces.
Which we didn't realize.
It had forced all this hot air into our space.
Yeah, so it's it was a room with a bunch of other rooms by it and around it. So there were 2 stories. It was like a shopping center. There were 2 stories, and we had one of the little places in that little shopping center. And what we didn't realize is that there was no way to turn off the ducts from pushing heat down out of the attic into our space, because what we didn't realize is everybody had closed off their vents with like cardboard or something. We were just trying to flip the little vent closed, and we're like, why does it keeps getting so hot? We had the
air conditioning running all night long.
We bought an air conditioner for one,
and put it in the window.
We put it in the window, ran it 24 hours to get ready for a class.
So that it'd be nice and cool because it was the middle of summertime.
Yeah.
And
people came in sweating.
They were like drenched. And so since we had 2 locations, I was running back and forth in between the different locations. Like I came in one day and somebody had they pulled the air conditioning hose out of the window and were pushing the hot air on their face because it was cooler
than the air inside.
And I knew at that point that was probably
this was not working out.
And like there were other
it's a shame because it was a cute idea.
Like we worked so hard on space.
Yeah, we built walls, we cleaned, took down wallpaper. You helped them empty the whole room out.
So when we first got it, and I'm not going to say who it was and stuff or where it was, but they were super nice and super kind. And they're like, "Oh, if you need extra space, I've got this space."
And it was inexpensive.
Has this place, and you can get it for super good rent. And I was like, "Okay, we need it."
Yeah,
because we were
tight.
Well, it was also we were like having stuff in our house, and it was just like overflowing. And my studio was the laundry room. And
not only did it have a space out for the classes, but it had 2 little offices that we were going to make into a studio and an office space.
And because also we were out in the country.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have reliable internet. So the idea was that we'd run the online store from there.
Yeah. So you could get internet there.
Because we had an online store, but it was my Big Cartel store, and that you had like a max of like 12 products.
Yeah.
And then I had an online store that only sold skull beads for a while, and anyway, so we were at the annex space for a long time, or maybe a year.
We had it for about a year or so. Yeah. Most of that time was fixing it up.
Yeah, we fixed it up, and it was like too cold to go in there in the wintertime, so we didn't have classes in the wintertime. But that building, they kind of did it not legally. So like next to the electrical panel, there was like a urinal.
A urinal.
And like in the wintertime, they'd shut the heat off in the building. So it was like freezing cold. And I had all this paint in there that from there and it had frozen solid. And so I was like, I don't know about that. But anyway, so they said, oh, we have a place for cheap rent and you can get it. And I said, all right. And so we kind of got sight unseen. And when I went into there the first time, I was like, holy crap, what did I agree to? Because there was stuff stacked literally to the ceiling.
I had never seen this because I was working my other job. And
I was a little bit horrified. And so I had to spend all this time, probably weeks, cleaning it out before we even got into it.
Yeah.
And they had this wallpaper on there that had been from the 70s.
Many layers of wallpaper.
And it had soaked up, I don't know how many things, because it was cigarette smoke. And so we had to peel all the wallpaper off. And there was shag carpet in there that was tiger print.
I forgot about that.
And I painted my studio this neon aqua teal color because I was like, oh, this is really like rejuvenating. And every time I'd work in there, I don't know if it's from the chemicals in there, but also every time I'd work in there, it was so bright, it would give me a headache.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also it changed the colors of stuff too, because I would make stuff. And then I'd go out in the daylight and I was like, how come this is like a completely different color?
Yep.
And it was because I was surrounded by 4 walls of this like neon technicolor.
Green.
And so I think also we got that on sale. You know how they have that mix, the
messed up mixes of paint at Lowe's.
And so we got one of those to save money.
Let's see, Suzanne has joined us. Hello, Suzanne. Marianne says, so many reasons to celebrate. Susie smiling. Marianne says, TP thieves are dastardly. I personally use 4 square rule.
Wow. It was different for sure.
Yeah.
So we had my friend Lynn Suprock. She came over. This is before she moved here. And we went in like 7 o'clock in the morning because she is going to leave later that afternoon. And we were trying to get into the bathroom, and they changed the locks on the door. And so like we had to go to the sheets to use the bathroom. And I was so embarrassed because I kind of just met her really. Like maybe we had known each other for a little while, but she came for Gail Crosman Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we first met. And then, so anyways, when she came back, we visited there. And so that was kind of our first mistake.
I don't think it was a mistake, but it was...
I do. I mean, we spent all this money to fix it up, and then we didn't even last a year there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we learned a lot.
We learned a lot. And
it definitely was not easy.
No.
And like William had gotten sick when we were doing the renovations, so I had to do most.
I got the flu really bad,
and so I had to do most of it myself. And I was like, it was pretty terrible.
Because we were trying to push to get ready for a class. And we were building an insulation soundproof wall because there was a yoga place right next door.
Well, it was fine at first. So I went into my studio one day and I was like, oh, I'm just messing around. And then I heard, lift your pelvis, lift your pelvis. And I was like, oh. And I realized that the wall between our sections was paper thin. Mm-hmm. So we ended up having to soundproof the wall.
Yeah.
So we added...
We bought soundproof, like, special plasterboard and this green goo that was for soundproofing things.
It turns the sound into heat, which was probably not good for the summertime. But it worked.
It worked really well, even though we built the wall wrong.
Correctly.
But we made the wall thinner, but it worked.
I mean, it was different. Your mom came by and she's like, I've never seen a wall built like
She
this.
says, you know, your 2x4s are the wrong way. We're like, but that makes it thinner, so it works.
So it didn't take up any more space.
Yeah, because we don't want to take up more space. And there was a the thermometer that you were supposed to be able to adjust the temperature with, that we had to leave access to.
We made these little cubby holes. It was pretty cute, actually.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was kind of it was a lot of work, and we didn't probably get a good return on investment.
No, we did not.
But it did make us real. I think having that space made us realize that we needed to kind of be under one roof at that time. So when the beige store came up, our friend from Scamps Talkie, they just sold to a new owner now. But she came by and she's like, Andrew, come over here. I have something to show you. And she's trying to be like slick. We had a customer who kind of, had a mental breakdown, and they were acting kind of funny. And so she was like doing stuff and trying to get into the space next door. And she was like talking about how she's going to run us out of town and all this other stuff. And so, very interesting individual, how they say. And so I was ready to go. And between that and how the other space, we could only use it like part of the year. And it was like not ideal. And people couldn't find it either. They drive over to the Pick and Chicken. I was like, you mean you drove to the Pick and Chicken?
Which is long, it's like almost to the store in Johnstown.
It's like, what, 15, 20 minutes?
Out of the way, yeah.
And I was like, it's like a mile.
It's like, yeah, maybe 2 miles max out of town.
Before the sheets.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we ended up going into the beige store, and I think that's probably the happy time. Like, I mean, in the beginning it was hard. It was really hard to try to get everything going, and we had a shoestring budget because nobody would give us a loan. So William, he had some stocks left over from when he worked at Apple, and then he cashed in that, which is, in hindsight, they'll probably be millionaires by now. But whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess if you think about like every sale that we've had in 14 years, that's over $1 million. If you like add it up and like round up, it's kind of like $1 million.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so we started that, and we went to the beige store, and we were there for a long time.
Yeah, the beige store was our longest store, and it was really where, it was a small space. It was bigger than the space before it. And it was 2 rooms. It was really actually 3 rooms. One we used for storage.
In the basement.
But then
People always forgets about the basement.
We did have the basement, yeah. But it was 2 rooms that people used for shopping, and it was limited on space, but it was where we probably did the most gathering. People came in for classes. We had an amazing group of teachers that would come in and help out and teach things, and book club really took off there, and we started our lives there and our videos there.
We had book club at the Blue Store.
Yeah.
It was me, Laurel, and Terry Greenwald.
Yeah.
Terry drove in from Ohio
to do it.
And our first book was Paris to the Moon.
Yeah, we know about that. You've talked about how much he hated that book. But but the beige store.
I just didn't like it.
But the beige store was, I think, like the epitome of what we would like to do again in the physical store.
It was nice too, because we had our shopmate next door.
We had an amazing neighbor.
Her name was Melissa, and she was like one of the sweetest people,
Yeah.
and she's so funny.
Yeah.
And she'd crack me up, and I think I would crack her up.
Because Andrew started in that store, and then I took over. That's where we switched.
Well, our goal was to have me out of the shop in 5 years, and then we did it in 4. And
that also meant the store had to cover our bills, like I said before.
And William, he was able to leave his other job
till they brought me back.
Well, then they had construction in town, and I ended up working.
Hey, Vicky, thanks for joining us.
I ended up working for. I was a gig worker basically, and I would travel all over the country and help other people at their trade shows. And people would be like so surprised. They'd be like, "Why are you here?" Like my friend Wendy, she was like, she would say stuff. She would be like, "You mean you have like a business and you're like helping
someone else?"
And I was like, "Yeah." And what it was is because they had blocked off all the sidewalks and stuff. Nobody could come into the store.
No, it was a very difficult time.
And so I ended up picking up extra work, and William ended up picking up extra work, and
yeah. And then my job, they asked me to come back because the artist who was there was leaving, and they knew that I knew how to do that job in some ways, and they're like, "Can you fill in?" And it was just supposed to be temporary, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll fill in for a while." And then
was that pandemic time that you went back on Tuesdays?
Yeah, it was only a few days a week that I had to be in there, and I worked in the evenings otherwise. But that was before the pandemic.
I'm thinking you went back in the pandemic.
I think it was before the pandemic I started back, because I thought, well, I think
Maybe
I left
when we did construction.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Anyways, we moved to the green store.
Mm-hmm.
In the green store, we would walk by and we were like, "Oh, this would be so cute. This would be so cute. This would be so cute." And then we got it, and it was like the biggest store. And I really love that space, but still the beige store is my favorite.
The beige store had a magic about it.
Even though I had freaking Bradford pear trees out front.
Yeah.
He never cared about it. He like pretended like it didn't happen, but I used to wage war on those stupid trees because they stunk so bad.
Suzanne says, "New haircut, William." Not yet. Not yet. But yeah, so the beige store it had I like the times we had in the green store, I guess we'll call it. But there was something about all the things we did and all the people that joined us, and we had town-wide things that we did based out of the beige store. Mm-hmm. We had, like I said, we had the most number of kind of friends and teachers and gatherings at the beige store. We started doing some of our like New Year's Eve stuff there, and the late night lock-ins, and and filming like the design challenge reveals.
Like the green store, I don't think it ever got that.
No.
And I don't know if it's because it was on the other side of town.
Yeah, it did not. And other people had kind of, I think it was also a timing thing. Other people had moved on to other things. Mm-hmm. And, were getting jobs and where people were in their lives. The teachers that we had who used to help out, they were doing other things. And the pandemic struck right around that time. So, a lot of them had to, shift gears. And the beige store, when I look back on things, was like one of my favorite places that we've been to so far. Mm-hmm.
And it was really small, but
yeah, like we had to clear the product table to sit down to have a class. Like mm-hmm. We could not just sacrifice that for people to come in and sit down. Like it was used for product, and if people came, we stacked trays and moved them.
And then when we were in the beige store, like we got written up in the New York Times, and we were in articles with the Beekman boys, And it was funny because, like, you see these people, like, we had read their book for book club.
Yeah.
And then we ended up in an article with them.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny. Is like,
you did a lot of that.
A lot more of that back then.
Yeah.
And, like, we had been in over 40 different news articles. And
yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's... Oh, Anna's here. Hello, Anna. Thank you for joining us.
I like our news store, but I still sometimes miss Ligonier.
He does miss Ligonier. I miss Ligonier too, but I also think
it's close to the house.
It is close. But I also think there's so much potential in Johnstown.
I do like Johnstown, and I think there is a lot of potential. But it is harder because it is a little bit further away, and you wouldn't think that would do anything, but I think that.
Well, we're not generally making 3 a.m. wake up calls to go down and open up for somebody to get some.
No way. How would we do that?
I know.
Like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know. We used to do that sometime. People, like, they know we're like night people. They're like, it's 2 a.m., but I need some soft lights.
Drive by our house and see if we had the
lights on. Yeah. And we just walk down or drive down real quick, open up the store and sell some soft lex or sell some charms or
size 8 black seed beads.
Size 8 black seed beads, right?
I remember exactly what it was.
Hey, Ann, thanks for joining us. All right. Well, that's the story.
Well, and then like Eric and Sarah Jo, they came from, like, we had a book club. I'm not going to say which book it is because the author is problematic now. But it was like people came from all over the country to come to the book club. We had one. They came from Minnesota. Jeannie Marie came from North Carolina. Terry was in from Ohio. And then plus all the locals.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else came from somewhere really far. Anyways.
Yeah. Good times.
It's been. You want to start thinking about for the giveaway?
Let me catch up on comments. Teresa says we are redoing our jewelry making area and adding a new line of abalone styles to our company. Nice. Ship-shaped designs. Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's the name, right? Ship-shaped designs?
I think so.
Let's see here. Let's see. Kimberly says, oh man, missed you too, Vicky and Danette. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday. Diane is here. Hello, Diane. Thanks for joining us.
Which Diane?
Trepanier.
Oh.
Hello. So thank you all for hanging out. Let's do a giveaway. Andrew wants to do a giveaway to start out this day.
Yeah, about this one.
How about this one? Anna's asking, how was your day off? Relaxing Friday night, I hope.
No. It was just very heavy in the world.
Yes, and the world was getting very heavy, and we had both. I was not feeling great. Andrew's foot was acting up, and we just both kind of looked at each other and was like, we just need to.
He was going to do it.
I was going to do it.
Even though he looked like somebody whooped his ass.
It did.
And
it was pretty bad.
I was like, you look like you're about to die.
You know, sometimes you need that permission to not. And Andrew's like, just don't do it. And I'm like, okay. So that's why we did not do it.
Yeah, I wish we could say we had like this most relaxing, like lovely time.
No.
But it was mostly, I think, because there's just like a lot of, a lot of divisiveness.
Yes.
That's the right word? Divisiveness in the world. And it just felt like that was a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Anna says, okay, that's understandable. I took a social media break. That's understandable for sure.
Well, I think we needed it because we can't not be on social media, and because so many people, that's how we run our business. And so we're just like influx of so much kind of things. And, I think it's funny because like even though neither of us took like a real big stand on stuff, there are people who assumed that they knew how like our feelings about certain stuff.
Well, yeah,
and
people,
like, people were kind of cyber stalking me a little bit.
Yeah, Andrew got a lot of feedback.
And like people like
they're like, I saw you liking that post. I'm gonna block you.
And it was just like really kind of nasty. And people were really invading my privacy, I felt.
Yeah.
And normally I don't really care, but
it was just a very odd thing because nobody says that to me.
Well, I think because you are white.
I was gonna say there's a low key.
Like because he's white, he gets treated way differently than I do, and also because he's taller than I am. I think that's also that too. But it's like people were kind of getting weird, and like I would purposely not say anything, and people just were like rearing to go.
Yeah, people were ready to fight.
And they don't even know, like, they don't know anything about me or my life. I've never met some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just ready because we're openly gay and I'm brown, apparently.
Well, and some people were ready to block him, but didn't block me. And I'm like, do you think I think differently? Do you think like we're like...
But then also, like, people try to, like, sway William and they're like, oh, did you see what he posted? And it's like, yes, he sees what I post. I'm like... and they, like, try to turn us against each other or something.
They like to do that a lot.
It's weird when people, like, think that because they bought beads once 10 years ago, that somehow they have, like, some magical sway over William.
Yeah.
That I don't. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of that. And
Susan says people have been so nasty lately.
Anna says like it's calmed down a little bit.
Anna says really that's odd stalking behavior, but yes, I can see that.
Oh, it's not odd. I mean,
it should be odd, but he gets it a lot. It's
one of those things where I feel like for a while it's kind of calmed down because I don't get into too many kind of arguments with people as I used to. But people would
only because you've pulled back from, like, because you are more public. Like both he and I do not say what we would say probably if we did not own a store.
Well, I cuss, so.
But there's probably a lot more that we would say. But people right away, first thing they do is threaten our livelihood.
And it's like number one thing. They're like, oh, that one time that I sent somebody to you a long time ago, you owe me.
Yeah, or I'm never sending like that again.
And that we get that all the time. And it's sort of disconcerting. Like some people, like I've never met them before, so I don't really give a shit. But then some of the people who I do actually know, that was surprising because I was like, we've had nothing but pleasant conversations and you seem to like me as a person and yet you're ready to like throw me out with the bathwater because I didn't grieve the way you wanted me to and have like this public like crying and gnashing of teeth and rending of cloth.
Well, and it's very different when you are a small business owner in that you cannot speak your mind like you can normally. Like we cannot get into internet fights with people like you should be. You don't want to, but you can't even speak your mind without your entire livelihood being threatened.
That's the first job. Whenever somebody says, here's a lesson. If you want to make me not like you, say these words. But I'm a good customer. That's number one. Number two, you should, followed by XYZ. What's the other one? Oh, to be more professional. What's number four?
That's at least 3 strikes for Andrew right there.
I know. Those things, if you say that, instantly I'm like,
Yeah. Kimberly says I stay out of political posts and negative stuff and just post pretty things on socials. Anna says I don't need hateful customers. And says Kimberly says I hide things that are upsetting.
well, we shouldn't have to. The thing is that, like, we're in this together, and we may not always agree on things, and that's completely fine about most things.
Yeah.
But I think when we get to the point where you're worried that you have to lock down your life to protect yourself for safety reasons, like at one point I thought about, like, they had made some of the people had made comments about where I lived.
Oh yeah.
And that was not cool. And then I was thinking about calling the police actually and filing a restraining order. Because you never know. Nowadays, you never know. Somebody could come over there and shoot you in the face, and that's normal now. So, anyways, that's why we were on.
That's why we took a day off, because we were absolutely worn out.
And so it's like, I'm like, oh, where do you find sea glass? And then people are like, I'm gonna kill you dead. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, so
Kimberly says,
not.
if you are more professional, I might be concerned.
But what would that mean? Like, wear a suit?
I know, right?
That's
Andrew, can you see Andrew walking around in a suit and tie?
That's the thing, though. Like, people will say things like, oh, you need to be this way. And it's not really, it's this idea to force somebody to do something
the way they want them done.
The way they want.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, and if somebody ever says, respectfully, I disagree, like, usually that means there's no respect. And they just want to preface that by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think there are certain things that, like, they're trigger words for me that people have said these things over and over as a way to control me or demean me to make me behave.
And you get it a lot. You get it a lot.
And I don't love that. So,
no.
And used to, I would take it more.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I guess I do more now, because I'm too tired. I guess.
But it's a low key form of racism when they do it to you and not to me.
It is surprising always.
Yeah.
But anyways.
And it says, don't want to be professional if it means I cannot be myself and speak my views. Kimberly says, I like that you talk like a real person and not a stuffy lawyer. And Susan has joined. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining. Yeah. We're doing our first giveaway here. Andrew's put this up for a giveaway. What do we want to have them say or do for a giveaway?
What was the color of our first store?
What was the color?
The main color.
The main color of our first store. First person to put it in the comments, don't have to send an email. First person to put it in the comments gets this wonderful luxury bead blend by Andrew.
Did anybody guess?
Somebody said beige.
No.
Nope. Kimberly says, y'all are real and friendly. We try to. Kimberly then guessed blue.
It's blue.
It was blue.
Blue and slate gray.
Which is super pretty combo, I think.
And you know where I got the idea for the slate gray? Sheila worked for this place called Swallow, and it's a gallery, like Swallow the bird, not you're gonna swallow some juice. And the owner, Rhea, she painted it. It was a color from. And so when we got the store, I wanted to paint it. She had a different color. It was kind of like an olive color that was metallic. And so I drove all over creation trying to find this paint. and apparently it gotten bought up and changed, and it was the Martha Stewart paint. And so it was the slate gray from Martha Stewart.
People are guessing all different colors.
What was it?
Green, yellow. Kimberly says, I'm just throwing colors out there.
It was yellow.
It paid off.
We did it.
It was yellow before. Jen had said white.
Nope. It was yellow.
Anna says, oh, I forgot that one.
Rust red. And there was so much grease on the wall.
Yeah, it was a restaurant before that.
So I was on a ladder scrubbing grease because the paint wouldn't stick. And when we were gonna hang artwork, the nail, it bounced off of the wall because you couldn't get that. It had, for one, it was covered in tin.
Yeah.
And number two, it was covered in so many layers of paint that you could not get a nail in the wall.
That's why we built an art wall.
So, and luckily his aunt had some drywall from a project left over, and his brother came and helped us.
Yeah, my mom, my aunt, my brother, they all came and hung out and helped us make our first art wall.
And the paint wouldn't dry on the art wall, on the project wall. So for the opening, all the artwork was like propped up.
Yeah, if you see some of the pictures I posted, it's all propped in front on things.
Because the paint would not dry. And yeah. I don't know why it wouldn't dry.
Just one of those things.
And it also looks very sparse in the store.
Of course it did. It was our first store.
Well, we didn't have any money for furniture, so we basically pulled the furniture out of our house.
Yep.
To put stuff. And then we also had this idea that we would put everything in like drawers so people could dig through the drawers and find treasure. And we quickly learned that that is not the way. And,
people do not like to hunt.
No, if it's not.
We thought it would be fun because everyone was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to... Even people said this. Wouldn't it be fun to go in a store and treasure hunt and look through things?
Well, I like to treasure hunt.
And
so
then...
I was like, oh, this is a cool idea.
We realized...
that people actually don't like to
do that. They
don't
that. Really want to
do that. Conceptually they don't like to do that. But in actuality, they don't
feel
want
awkward doing it.
We learned about things called hot spots and cold spots and how to visually merchandise things. So, like, one of my inspirations for the store was Ornamentia in Raleigh, North Carolina, when Cynthia Diaz had this store. And I loved how it didn't seem like a chop shop. Some of the bead stores, they're trying to act like they're Walmart or something, and they have this, like, so sterile. Everything have these bright fluorescent lights that's going to take your eyes out, and it's so cold and impersonal, and everything's behind glass, and it just feels kind of like you're going to go in a sperm bank or something in some seedy part of town.
Oh, camera switched.
And so for me, I wanted it to be a much more approachable space that inspired people and it was like visually exciting, but also like, it's I want people to think of like a beautiful store when they see our space.
Anna says, those are not my kind of bead stores.
No, I don't like them either. I mean, I'll shop anywhere if I can find it, if they have good stuff, but it's not my favorite.
All right, y'all. I told you we're going to let these out into the wild today. So if you've been waiting to get any of my little dishes, I am selling these. They're $27 each. AAP1. That's the lot number for tonight. AAP lots.
AAP?
Allegory Anniversary Party.
I thought it was AARP.
AAP. AAP1. This is the first little dish. These are going to be $27. These are my handmade vessels. And that's the first one. A lot of you have seen these already, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing them.
Do you have the penny up?
I do not have the penny up. I don't think I have a penny up.
What?
No pennies over here.
There should be a penny.
I know. You would think. I usually put them back in here, but they're not here.
Well, pick a different one.
I'm gonna pick a dime. Pick a dime.
Since we're fancy now.
I think Allegory Gallery is the antithesis of cold and unfriendly, says Susan. Thank you.
Good.
We try.
Well, I never want anybody to feel like they are not welcome.
Right.
And, I think that's kind of also where sometimes I get surprised by people because I feel like it's such an important thing to feel like you can be whoever you are without judgment.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, there was a little shop in Orlando, and they kind of gave me my first opportunities to sell stuff. And I didn't have a lot of money, and so the shop owner knew it, and she'd give me little odd jobs like helping with inventory and restock, and she'd trade me like little store credit so I could get stuff. And sometimes I had a little shelf for a while, and I sold polymer clay creations. It was always a safe space for me. I always felt like I could always go there, and people like believed in me, and I could be who I was without judgment.
That's good.
And it was in an old house in Orlando. And yeah, so it's weird to think about stuff.
Weird to think about stuff.
Yeah, because I had no, like I was sick. They had cut off a half a square foot of skin on my side, so they put staples in to hold the skin together. And whenever I was laying in bed, William, he couldn't sleep in the bed because every time he'd move, it'd pull on the staples. And so he laid on the ground while I was in the bed, and the cats were around me, Paula and Babette. They were healing me with their purring, which they're trying to crawl all over me with staples, and that wasn't always ideal.
No.
But we would talk about stuff, and he would tell me about how when he was a little boy, he would play with his cousin, and they'd play business and stuff. And I told him about the shop, and we talked about one day, someday, maybe having a store as like a far off kind of thing in the future. But it always seemed like something for somebody else some other time. It never really seemed like it would happen for us, I guess. I shouldn't say that. It was always something that would happen down the road. Because we had these ideas of what it took to be a shop owner. And apparently you don't have to have all that. But when we moved here, it definitely changed our lives. And I think it changed our lives for the better. We learned a lot going into having the store. And I think it was one of those things where, I can't imagine not knowing some of the people I know now because of the store.
Right.
Like, our lives would be so much so different and a much paler version of itself if we didn't have this store. And I don't know what the future is going to hold. I would love to think that the Johnstown location kind of really starts clicking, and we start developing our regulars. And we kind of have a few regulars, but not in a sustainable way.
Not yet.
I feel like when we had this store in town, maybe not the green store, because the green store was always kind of
5 and 6 have sold. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I always felt like the green store never really hit its stride. It just And anyway, I'm kind of glad we're not there because there's other stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm glad to have moved.
Mm-hmm.
I think we made a good choice.
Well, William, he developed a heart condition, and that was exacerbated by stress. And I feel like we were on this path that was really stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had just passed away, and he pretty much worked his whole life. And when he finally, they had a house that they bought that was foreclosed on, and they spent, I think, 10 years fixing up this house. And they sold the house, and they finally had a little bit of money. And that was like the dream, was to have a little bit of money so that they could retire.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad basically quit because he got sick and never really got to enjoy himself. And like he was in his almost, I think, 80 when he died. So he had worked for at least 40 years, manual labor, struggling super hard. And
We just sold 9. Thank you so much.
the one big splurge was that they bought a new refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other refrigerator was like busted up and could barely function. And they bought that one. I was like, I don't know. It was old.
Yeah.
So,
Susan says, did I get 5? Yes, you did, Susan. Thank you. Susie says, I had staples and drains. It was difficult to get comfortable.
mm-hmm.
Susan also said, cats are awesome healers.
Yeah, they were good. I miss them.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely sweet. Our cats are sweet now, but nobody can ever replace Paolo and Babette.
No. They were a different, they connected with us a lot.
Well, when you almost die, and they're there for you, and all that,
Yeah.
that makes a difference.
And this is the last one of these, y'all. So 5, 6, 9, 8 has just sold as well. Thank you so much. 5, 6, 8, and 9 have sold. And this is the last one, 11.
And that may sound bad for the cats now, but I don't know. They just
Barnaby is my buddy right now,
mm-hmm.
and he is definitely attached to me, and I'm attached to him. And when Paolo left me, Barnaby stepped up, and I will say he has definitely filled that place that I needed for a little buddy.
Mm-hmm. But Paolo, he would cuddle me.
Yeah, Barnaby cuddles you too sometimes.
Not the same.
Not the same.
He does, and he's a good boy, but it's just not the same.
Not the same.
And Babette, she loved me so hard.
Yeah, she did.
And I miss her all the time.
So these are the ones that are still available. This is AAP1, AAP2, 3. I thought for sure 3 was going to be one that went. I'm surprised at this one. 4, 7, 10, and 11. Susan said, I've had lots of surgeries and the cats have always taken care of me. Suzanne says, Barnaby is the man.
He's sweet.
He is a sweet boy. Susan says, thanks. Need to have one, but I can't afford 2 right now. I get it. I get it. These will not be, if you are watching the replay on this, these are not available to claim on the replay any longer. They are available in our online store. Once this live is over, we will be putting these in. I already have them in the online store. I just need to turn them on. So once this live is over, if you're watching the replay on this, just go to allegorygallery.com if you'd like to buy any of these, and they are available there. Oh, 3 just sold twice. So thank you so much. 3 is sold.
Yeah, our goal is, I don't know if William talked about this yet, but we have an opportunity. One of our friends, they're moving their warehouse, and so they're offering some pretty incredible deals, and we're trying to make some extra money so that we can go over and stock up. Part of that is to help them, but also it's going to help us because we're not importing anything right now, and probably won't for the next couple of years until some stuff gets kind of sorted out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So those are the remainders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. We've sold 5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oh, 4 just sold. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Someone just sent that. Oops, I moved these the wrong way.
What is happening?
I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to look. People are. My mom just tuned in. Said, "Did I get 3?" Then somebody said, "If I didn't get 3, I'll take 10." So my mom did get that one, and 10 is going to the other person who requested that.
Did you send an email?
Huh?
Did they send an email?
Yeah. Everybody's.
10?
Yes. It says 10 if I didn't get 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna get real confused.
I know. No, we're good. We're good.
So hopefully, we're gonna raise enough money to do that. And we've been working super hard. I haven't been 100% since I got back from. It seemed like since I got back from Peters Valley, I've been busted.
Yeah, you have.
Like the week after I got back from Peters Valley, I was kind of under the weather and sick and kind of like migraine-y. And I was scared it was COVID, but luckily it wasn't. And then, because there was somebody on campus that got sick, and they quarantined. I was like, "What are we supposed to have another teaching assistant?" And they're like, yeah, they're sick." And I saw them driving around on campus with a mask on, and I was like, "I bet that's the assistant that didn't show up." And it was. And I got super paranoid about that. And then I got gout. Well, first, once I felt better, then I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do some yard work because Ava's coming. And I'm going to try to fix up the house." And then I got super dehydrated. Even though I was drinking water, I still got dehydrated. And I think that triggered the gout.
Yes, it did.
And I'm always like, why is it always this time of year? And it's usually because I'm trying to clean up the yard.
But I think it also is a seasonal thing because I've had other people tell me that they've had gout and it happens at specific times of the season too, or specific times of the year.
But I also think that it's because I'm always trying to bust a move.
You are.
At the end of August, beginning of September to get ready for the fall. And so I got gout real bad. I mean, it wasn't as bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as like in my mind as before. I also didn't accidentally get poisoned, so.
No. Now, what are we doing on these?
We sell them.
How much are we doing these for? Usually we do on like this is either in.
I could go for 10.
10 on these. These are usually 10 or 12. These are, Andrew made these, his crowned skulls. 2, 4, 6, 8 of them available. Normally there are 12. I'm going to do them for 10. 8 of them available. He did them in this special black for the spooky season.
Well, and then I did a little bit of a different, like there's a little bit of a champagne,
Luster.
and then I sealed them, and then I put a dark antiquing glaze on it to bring out some of the details.
So those are AAP 12. They are approximate, now they're all hand pressed, but about 28.7 millimeters. These are polymer, yes, Anna. Sorry, they're polymer clay, hand pressed by Andrew, signed and dated on the back.
How about doing them in porcelain again?
Yeah, your little porcelain bowl you took to my pottery thing was a hit.
Yeah, I was like, it's not that hard. But they probably just said that because they wanted it to be nice.
No, they liked it. Kim says, nice. Am I going to see Cicadas by Andrew tonight?
Maybe.
Maybe. What's this other one we've got here?
That's Aquarius.
Aquarius?
These are not my designs, by the way. That's an old vintage antique.
These ones are not. This is.
That one I carved on the skull one I carved. The one I didn't carve.
These are Aquarius symbols.
I thought I made more, but then the cats walked on them.
They flattened them all out before you had a chance to.
They did something. They kept playing with it. Usually when William's here, they get wild. I was like, yo, I come trained every other minute of the day. And then when he comes around, y'all gonna be acting a fool.
Now let's see. Teresa says, I ordered dish 2. Was it available? I did not see the email. Let me check my junk email. Let me... For my dish number 2, I did not get an email, Teresa.
So check your email.
Check to make sure info@allegorygallery.com.
You know, I've noticed some people have started trying to email the allegory.com again.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think that happens, but...
I know. Yeah, but I don't have it in the junk. In my spam folder. But it is still available, Teresa, if you want it. Dish 2, this one.
So send it.
So make sure you send that email in if you'd like that. Make sure it's info@allegorygallery.com. Let's see here. We've sold 1, 2 of 12 and 2 of 13 so far. Thank you so much.
And if you want the other zodiac, you can let me know, and I can maybe make a couple. But I hate to make a whole bunch of that, and somebody does it, and they don't get it.
Teresa, this one, yeah. Please try sending another email, Teresa, because it did not come through. I don't know why. Just send another one. Because I want to make sure we're getting your email in case you want to claim anything else later. Because I can set it aside and write your name on it, but I want to make sure we're getting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see now.
I know. Okay.
You may be thinking you're never getting anything when you claim stuff, and it could be like...
It could be because it's never coming through.
We had an issue where his personal email, something got messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't receive emails for a couple days, and he was like, it's so weird. There should be emails. And I had somebody send him an invoice for something, and they're like, it got bounced back.
Yeah. Super weird. Okay, how much on those? 14?
Maybe 12.
12?
These ones are not...
I'm going to say was 14 now, because if I put these online, they're going to be a little bit more.
I try to make them all one of a kind. So they're a little bit... If you look at them close, there's a little bit differences. I mean, same style, same mold, but they're all a little bit different.
These are the cicadas.
These are also from an antique. The original is from France. From like, I don't know how old, but it's old.
So there are 3 of these available. AAP 14, $12 each. Suzanne says, hey, sometimes all my email either went to junk or the Ethernet. LOL. Yeah, hopefully. And Teresa still is not coming through. I don't know if you've sent another one yet or not.
Make sure you check hide the spelling. Because sometimes if you misspell it once, then it saves it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's our Kylo patch. William's mom gave us some stickers for the Kylo patch, and then I couldn't find the Kylo patch.
We've just sold 2 of the cicadas. There is only 1 left. AAP 14. 2 of them have sold. All 3 of them have sold. Thank you so much. Sold out.
Do y'all like this color combo? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put it right here on top of the Cricut.
Why don't you put it in your pocket?
No, because I don't want to get crumbled up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go now because my foot's starting to hurt.
Why don't you take that then and put the thing on it?
Because I want you to do it. He does it good where it doesn't come off. Whenever I do it, it starts peeling off and then it lasts for like a minute.
Kimberly says, it's spooky. I love it. Suzanne says, I do like the color.
Okay.
Okay. I love this color combo. It's a very goth vibe, says Susan.
Thanks. Do y'all want any of the other designs or any of the other Zodiac before I go? I'll still be watching downstairs. I'm kind of scared because I left my phone going. And then the cats are underneath.
You're going to be kissing on it?
I don't know. They're going to be looking at porn or something. I don't know. It's cats.
Kimberly says Cancer.
Okay, maybe. We'll see.
All right. Now, I don't know how much to do on these. I think we're going to do 36 on these. Aries, says Susan. All right, y'all. So,
what did you say?
Aries,
Cancer,
Aries. And Aries so far are the requests.
Barnaby wants to come in.
Barnaby. AAP 15. I think I'm going to do 36 on these. These are big bowls by Harry.
These ones you don't get discount on the shipping.
No.
Because it's going to be cost us a lot to ship them.
Yeah, we're going to have to ship these in bigger. These will not fit in my little boxes. So these have to go. And that's one of the reasons I'm making the price a little higher is to cover some of the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Libra.
Plus they look nice.
Plus they're very nice. Yes. So if you didn't know, we handle all of Harry's ceramic sales now.
We're going to put a whole... We kind of have a section in the store now, but I want to...
We have a section in the physical store. We are going to have an online section as well.
I want like a big section with like a bio and like his picture.
Yeah.
And like, so people, to get back to our roots of selling
artisan made.
We never stop, but I want to reinforce it,
So Teresa Coulter, if you're watching, I know that you requested this one from Harry. So if you don't want this bowl, then other people have a chance at it. But this is yours to claim first. We don't usually do that, but I haven't emailed you about this. And I figured, oh, hi, Barn. Hello. And I figured I would just do it this way. So this is the bowl by Harry.
Yeah, give me my child.
Hi, buddy. Okay, go see your dad. Oh.
He's like, I don't want him.
And that's AAP 15, and it is claimed. Thank you so much. So just so everyone can see, this was the bowl. And it is 36, which I think is still low. But you know, we try and give you all the good deals when we can. Kimberly says that is fabulous, isn't it? All right, so AAP, we have 3 more bowls, by the way, everybody. So AAP 1636. Let's see if Andrew's watching. He's probably not downstairs yet, but Susan said, I think a bat design would be great for Andrew's new pendant design. Also angel wings and roses. Nice. That's a different idea for him. This is AAP 16. Suzanne says, your prices can't be, I think, beat the best for quality and price. We try. Thank you. This is AAP 16. And I think this is an amazing colored bowl by Harry. Love the work he did on this. That's AAP 16, $36. One available. And then AAP 17. I'm going to move this a little bit. Oh, it was everybody's saying. Student says, wow, awesome job by Harry. Norma says AAP 16 has gorgeous colors, doesn't it? Super pretty colors. I'm going to move these over to the side a little bit so we can fit more of Harry's stuff up here. I'm just going to, because I need room. There's AAP 17. Is this one? This is, look how beautiful. Kind of like Starry Night, right? With those greens and blues. So that's 17. And I can give you the sizes of these. These are big, as you can see. And these are about 5.5 inches by about 3. 5.5 by 3. And we have one more of these large bowls. AAP 18 is this one. This one might be my favorite one. Norma says AAP 17 is also gorgeous, right? And I think 18 is very, very pretty as well. I love the yellow and orange in this one with those kind of blues and slate kind of blues. And look at that purple bottom. So that's AAP 18. So 16, 17, and 18. I'll put them all together here so you can see. 15 has sold. These are 16, 17, and 18. I can't leave them here too long because they take up a lot of space. But if you'd like to purchase these are available. And Teresa Ramstow, I still did not get an email from you, so I'm not sure what is going on. But I'm going to put AAP2 on the side for you. But I don't know why we're not getting your emails, which is a little bit concerning to me. Check your sent mail and make sure it's sent. We've had a few people who have had issues I had issues that my mail wasn't sending. It was getting stuck in the sent mail. Check to make sure it says that it was sent. 18 has just sold. Thank you so much. So those 15 and 18 are sold. 16 and 17 are still available. Now, while I have y'all, don't forget, this Wednesday and Thursday, our friend Ava is coming. So Ava Motherwell is bringing the Ava Motherwell collection with her. We're going to have a fun time. Both lives are going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the 17th and 18th this week, Wednesday and Thursday. And we're going to go through hundreds of lots of her items over the course of 2 days. So if you love vintage German glass, if you love Italian and German resin beads and connectors and pendants, and you love beautiful, beautiful things, be sure to tune in. She's also bringing some of the lampwork glass. So we're going to have lots and lots of stuff. She asked me, she's like, how many lots do you think we're going to get through? And I said, last time we did almost 300 over the course of 2 days. And I said, maybe we can beat that. And she said, let's try. So we're going to have hundreds of lots of items available for you all. And I am super excited for it. So hopefully you'll all join us, and we'll have lots and lots of good stuff for you all. All right, I'm going to move these out of the way. They are still available, 16 and 17, if anybody is interested in those. And let's see, what number are we on here? 19. AAP 19. We have a few other things by Harry. Oh, we just sold 16. Thank you so much. That's the red one. So 16 is now sold. Thank you, thank you. And so that leaves 17, this beautiful blue. Beautiful. So pretty. One of those available. All right. 19. Let's see. I'm going to do this for a low price, $18 on this. This is a large pendant by Harry. So Harry sent us a few pendants. Beautiful large pendant. Nice large hole. Suzanne says, is anyone else having trouble with you freezing? We were having trouble with freezing on Facebook the other day too. So I don't know. Is anybody else having a problem? And is anybody on YouTube having a problem specifically with us freezing for any reason? So this is a large pendant by Harry. And really these should be about $22, $24 probably, but I'm doing them at $18 for you all. Kimberly says, no issues today, and she is on YouTube. Teresa is having issues, and she is on Facebook, so it seems like it might be a Facebook issue again. And AAP21. Now this is probably my favorite pendant of Harry's in quite some time. I absolutely love this pendant. It's so nice. I love it that it's like either snowflake, like it could be snowflake, right? But it's not the colors necessarily, but it could be like horns or deer horns, or I just love, like, I just think this is such a pretty pendant. Anna's having no problems on YouTube. Suzanne says, so frustrating. It is frustrating. I can imagine. I didn't have my YouTube or my Facebook one going today. Normally I have that going to keep an eye on things, but I did not. So I'm sorry you're all having issues over there. 21, this one has just sold. Thank you so much. Well, this is what's frustrating to me, this camera flipping all the time. So AAP21 has sold. So let me put that in a bag. Find a bag here. Thank you, thank you. And if I am not calling out something that you've requested, hopefully I'm getting emails. I seem to be having some issues with some emails. Only Teresa so far, I think. So Teresa, if you're claiming anything else, hopefully, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. All right. And now, did I get through? No, I still have a few things of Harry's. AAP22. These are some brand new things from Harry. Do this at 20. Normally I make these more. Maybe this at 20. This is AAP22. This is a figurine by Harry. And it's this cat. This cute little cat playing. Super cute. I love the speckled glaze. 21's colors reminded me of fall, says Teresa. Yes, that's one of the reasons I love it, right? It's one of my favorite pendants lately. It's definitely a fall vibe. And it's kind of that, it reminds me of like fall around a campfire, like, or a bonfire. We didn't really have campfire. I never went to camp. But we had bonfires and like just the kind of sweater weather. Like these big pendants, they remind me of like things that you would wear over a sweater. Like maybe you've got like a cowl neck sweater and you want to put this on some leather or something to wear like over top of a chunky sweater. That's what these pendants remind me of. They're bigger and they can stand up to that, you know, kind of fall clothing that you might be wearing. Like I imagine this with like a gray or like a winter white gray mixed wool sweater with a cowl neck and wearing this on a piece of leather. I love those big pendants. Suzanne says Harry mentioned he was experimenting with different glazes and colors. Yeah, I love it. So that's 22. And I have one more thing, I think, from Harry before we move on to two more things before I move on to some other things. I'm going to do this one at a low price of 14 for you. Again, you're getting all you all get Harry stuff at better prices than when we move it into the online store or the physical store. The prices usually go up. These are like introductory for you all. You're also mostly all friends of Harry's, which is nice. This is a beautiful little house pendant or house-shaped kind of pendant. These beautiful plants on here and vines. I think it's so pretty. And this is approximately 27.5 by 51.5. And I love how he kind of cut this one off kilter a little bit. Like it's kind of cut out, you know, it's not like cookie cutter cut out. It's like a little bit, it's just different, cut by hand. Love that. AAP 23, $14 on that one. And this one, I'm going to do this one at 24. AAP 24. This is this ghosty. Super awesome. He does have a bell on this one, so if you wanted to hang it, you could hang it. Whether you're using it as jewelry or a pendant, or you're just hanging it from maybe a Halloween tree or something else. Now it is flattened, but it will not it's not going to necessarily sit up. I tried it, and I tried it this way, and it doesn't really sit flat. It's a little bit too weighted. So it is something you're going to want to hang. I think you want to hang it anyway. It's a little ghost, right? It's flying through, but it's super dang cute. AAP 24, $24 only. That'll go up a little bit if it goes into the store or the online store for sure. But one of those available, AAP 24. And it's in that same speckled glaze as the cat. I just think they're super cool glaze. So that's AAP 24. All right. Now, let me see what I'm going to take away. I need to get bags. I keep forgetting to bring bags home. Let me see if I can fit these in here. AAP 13. I'm going to take these away. There are still 2 of these available. Andrew says, do you all want to see a sneak peek of some of the new work I'm making? Who wants a sneak peek? Anybody want a sneak peek? Anybody? Anybody want a sneak peek? Or nah, don't want to see it. I want to see it. I don't know what he's working on. It reminds me of a sheet with a print. Remember those sheets with the floral prints? And yes, I do. Definitely do. It's blue florals. My mom says, definitely want to see. Suzanne says yes. Kimberly says yes, always. Anne says, I want a sneak peek before I have to go to sleep. Andrew, they want a sneak peek. Better get him a sneak peek. Anne's getting tired. Teresa would love to see. Susie wants to see. Oh, we still have, I think, at least 4, maybe 6 of these AAP 12s at $10 each. If you're interested in those. Oh, you're coming up. Thought you were going to jump on the camera. Nah. Oops. Oh, you're giving a sneak peek of those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my.
So we've got a couple of shows coming up. So if we don't sell them during the Small Business Boost, hopefully we'll sell them there.
Look how cool these are.
That's a candy corn.
Candy corn person.
This one is like a creature of the Black Lagoon. And you wouldn't think that
So cute, says
So
Suzanne.
doing the backgrounds took a while because I cut them out on a laser, and then I ended up gessoing and painting these ones. So it took like maybe 5 hours just to get the blanks ready.
Yeah, these are like flat black. That takes a lot of work.
They're not really black.
No, but I mean, just the like a gray. Suzanne says, so cute. Says, I love them. Anne says, the candy corn is so charming.
Thanks.
My mom says, I just love the candy corn guy. Each one is better than the next, says Suzanne. These are great, says Teresa.
And that's a little autumn leaf tree fern. And this is a little witch fern. That's the blue witch. A little pumpkin head creature. And then little mushroom fern. This is not the right shape for the body for the mushroom, but that's all right.
It's cute.
For the Amanita fly agaric, they have usually skinnier bodies. But I thought looked cute or rounded. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they usually don't have the dots on their stomach, but I also thought polka dot was cute. So
Suzanne says it looks like Cornelius.
I'm thinking of painting some of the backgrounds different colors, just slightly.
Kimberly
So
says
that they're
LOL. Vicky says I love them.
I'm thinking about making a
Love the
little.
mushroom person, says Teresa.
I'm thinking about making. You know how I do the fruit with the faces?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of enameling some and having them look like that.
Oh boy.
Um,
My mom says, "Oh, that smiling skull guy is darling."
oh, good.
All so cute, says my mom. Love the root baby and the blue witch. These two. That's Marianne. Hello, Marianne. Still lurking out there. Those are wonderful, says Anna. They're all amazing, says Kimberly.
So that's a sneak peek. The other ones I'm still layering, but I've been painting nonstop for I don't know how many days.
Yeah, he has. So
Which has
those.
not been excellent for my foot.
No, you've not been resting.
I was like, do I have to what is happening? Like, what do people normally do for? It doesn't hurt like it does, but it is swole.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you people do for swollen feet?
Put them up.
Put them up. Am I gonna be like bed rest time, like Frida Kahlo style? I hope not.
I hope not. So these are going to be part of the Small Business Boost Week.
I'm gonna try to get them done for tomorrow.
For tomorrow, maybe at least some of them.
I want to get it so that I can spray seal them outside.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of painting the backgrounds a little bit different.
Do y'all like the backgrounds?
Like, I kind of like how there's a difference between the kind of like pale peachy one and the kind of bluey, purpley gray. And so I was thinking about making them all slightly different.
Oh boy. Ice bath, says Teresa.
That works too.
You have been trying to do that once in a while.
Yeah, but I'm not in the past couple days.
Yeah, you probably should. All right. So those are coming up in the next day or two.
I'm going to try to work on them faster.
Work harder.
I don't know. But still do a good job, you know.
I like them as is, but Andrew has great taste, says Suzanne. Diane says, I like the dark ones.
I like the light ones, though.
I kind of like the light ones, too, but I like the dark ones. I don't know. I like
them both, but I kind of like that kind of the way that makes the orange pop on that.
Yeah, some of the colors pop maybe better with the... I don't know. I like them all.
Like...
I think they're super cute.
Imagine this one with like a olive green maybe background. Or some of them maybe I don't know, orange background.
If they were all different, it would make sense as a series to be all different then. But if you just have a few that are different, they look like they're odd.
Yeah, so we'll see how it happens.
We'll see what happens. Teresa likes both backgrounds. All right, let's... Oh. Hi, Gilbert. He's been pushing his way out of doors lately. He jumped on the front porch today, and he pushed his way out the back door today. Now he's pushing his way in.
That's his seat, he said.
He says, this is my place. This used to be my room. He says, I don't know what happened.
He said, this was my patio.
This used to be my patio, my personal patio.
One time he got out.
More than one time. Okay, multiple times.
Oh, look at him looking at this.
Multiple times he pushes his way out of the screen. The screen window here up in this office, the window is over the roof of the porch. So Gilbert used to push the screen out of the window. He used his big body to push the screen out of the window, and then he would go sit on top of the porch roof by himself.
He was a little bit bigger, chunkier boy. He's lost a little bit of weight because the girls are bullying him.
They don't let him eat his full meals.
No, used to, Gilbert and Barnaby were kind of, they would compete about who's in charge. And then Idabel came and they instantly let her be the fur alpha.
Yeah.
And then
They did not mind her being the alpha.
Gertie's always kind of been down on the bottom. So now it's a competition of who's on the bottom. Is it Gilbert or Gertie?
Gertie. Oh, Terry Bass just stopped in. So just wanted to stop by and say happy anniversary to you both in the shop. Battling a headache, so can't stay. Well, it's good to see you here.
Yeah,
Thank you for stopping by, and we hope you feel better soon. All right. So that was 20. I think we're 24 we ended up on. All right. Now we're going to move into some of the normal gemstones and things that we normally do. I picked some stuff for tonight. I hope y'all like it. You know how this goes if you're here with us often. AAP 25. We had these at 20 before, but since we're having a party, anniversary party, we'll bring them down. Let's bring them down to 18. These are Peruvian opal, large nuggets. You get all of them for $18. Beautiful Peruvian opal nuggets. They are drilled lengthwise. They're nice big nuggets. Peruvian opal. And I like how they have some of the matrix on them still. And they're kind of simple cut, faceted, tumbled nuggets. They're about 20 millimeters by 17. You get the whole lot of them. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 beads for $18. $1, less than $2 a bead. That's a good deal, because in the store they'd probably be $4 a bead or so, somewhere in there. AAP 26. This was 24. I'm gonna bring it down to 18. What the heck? This is an eagle eye strand. And you can see that's the old price on it. Oh, I just got your email, Teresa. Just came through. It says dish 2. So I don't know if you're still here, Teresa, but I just got the email. Thank you. Don't know what happened, but it took its good old time coming through. This is AAP 26. Eagle eye strand. I think there's something else mixed in with that too. Some of the matrix. It's really a pretty strand. I actually really like it a lot. And I think for the fall and winter, it's a really pretty strand of these ovals or marquee. Cut 15.5 approximately by 25, let's say. AAP 26. $18 only for the whole strand. Vintage strand. That's a vintage strand. Only got one strand of this. This was 16. Actually, I think this was 18 originally. But since I have one left, I'm going to bring it down to $12 only. This is Neon Apatite Microfaceted Rounds. Look how pretty those are. Neon apatite, microfaceted rounds, just about 2 millimeters, 1.8 millimeters. One strand left in stock. Dropping it down to $12 for you all. Beautiful neon apatite. AAP 27. And these are flower agate. We had these at $4 each. I'm going to do half price for you, $2 each. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 of them available. Whoops, just dropped my paper. Make some room. These are the flower agate beads. And they are super pretty. They have really pretty formations. So that's one of them, for example. Here's another. There's another. I love, love, love these and how they look. Super cool. Flower agate. And these are about 20 millimeters by 15 millimeters. 20 by 15 millimeter beads. AAP 28, $2 each. We've sold 27 twice. Thank you so much. I only have one. I wish I had more. I only got that one. Kim says, same, leaving for vacation for 2 weeks, but wanted to say happy anniversary. Thank you for stopping in, Kim. Let's see here. And I'm going to leave the rest of those in the bag. And, ooh, these are a good deal. I can't go any lower on these. AAP 29, $3 a pair. Do I have, oh, I do, I have 2 pairs available. 2 pairs available. These are S-word crystal, AAP 29, $3 a pair. S-word crystal. This would be great for Halloween time. Let me try and show you this. They're kind of black, kind of almost like a mercury glass look. S-word crystal. 2 pairs available, $3 a pair, AAP 29. Super cool for Halloween. Spooky season time. AAP 29. Wow, only $3 a pair. We really did a good deal on those. All right, AAP 30. these at 20 and bring them down for you for, let's bring them down to 15. We have 2 of them available. Andrew said, those are some of my favorite S-word crystals. I know, aren't they nice? We just sold both pairs of 29. Twice. We sold both pairs twice. Sorry, somebody's getting them, somebody isn't. Oh, that's so weird. Everybody has the same idea, right? I don't know if I have any more of those in the store. We used to have them in the store, but I think we pulled them all, so I don't think I have any more of those hiding anywhere. Kimberly says, did I miss out? Kimberly, you are the one who got them. You got both of 29. Andrew says, they called them patinas, and they only had them for a short time. AAP 30. This is a vintage jade strand. It's a dyed jade in these beautiful greens and purples. And there are these wonderful faceted rounds. I think they're 6mm. Yeah, 6mm faceted rounds. And super pretty soft colors. Vintage strand of the jade. And they were 20, bringing them down to 15. 2 strands available. Let me see how long the strands are. They are 16-inch strands. 16-inch strands of the dyed jade. All right, I need to pick a few things up here. So AAP 19, going away for now, still available. Trying to figure out where to put everything here. Got a mess. A little bit of a mess. AAP 20, put that one away. This is going to take a bigger bag. I have one bigger bag here. I'm going to put this one in here because this is a big enough bag for that. For the Ghosty 24, I can't believe the Ghost is still available. I thought for sure that one was going to sell. The Hanging Ghost. Nobody? From Harry? That kind of really surprises me. But not everything can go all the time, right? Now I need a big enough bag. Well, I'm just going to set these to the side with these other ones. All right, let's move these up. AAP 25, AAP 26, AAP 28, AAP 30. This is $7 only. Last one of these, I believe. We had a bunch of these. This is the last one. Vintage check glass. AAP 31. In this flashy, flashy blue metallic. It's AAP 31. And these are approximately 7.2, so 7mm by about 8mm. One strand available, AAP 31. Let me move it up here. Oh, 31 just sold, so let me put that away. Thank you so much. Let's see what I got in my bag of goodies here. I love these strands. Still have one strand of this blue available. This was $26. I'm going to bring it down to $20. Boy, my marker is running out of juice. Let's see if any of these other markers work. There we go. Oops. AAP 32. This large dyed quartz. Oh, Gina's back. Says, I'm back, people. What's the magic email again? info@allegorygallery.com. info@allegorygallery. Make sure you have that. allegorygallery.com. Love these big beads. Big beads. These are about 17.5 to 18 millimeter faceted rounds. You get the whole strand for $20. AAP 32 in this beautiful light blue color, getting ready for winter, right? That'd be a great winter. Kimberly says those are some gorgeous agates. Did I say quartz? Agates. Sorry. Yes, agates. I think I may have said quartz, or maybe I did say agate. I can't remember. It's dyed agate. Beautiful colors. AAP 32. Kim says they are awesome, aren't they? Ooh, Andrew brought me some bags. Thank you. Kimberly says, you didn't say quartz, you said agate. Okay. I can't remember from I was like, did I say the wrong thing? Because I very well could have said the wrong thing.
Which one?
These.
So it's the brown part is agate.
The brown part is agate.
The clear part is like a quartz.
Is a quartz. So quartzy agate. No matter what I said, I'm right. Yes.
Technically.
I like that. I couldn't have gotten it wrong. No way to get that one wrong.
It's like stone.
Stones. It's a dyed stone from the earth. We've just sold 32. That dyed agate quartz. Thank you so much. We'll put that one away. I got a mess going on over here. I am not organized because I have all these little things, these little bowls and these little things. There's no way to really organize them. Says, okay, I'm ready for you. Hello to everyone, says Gina. Okay, Gina, get ready. We're already on 32, Gina. You've been missing out. Let's see here. You've been missing out. We've only got like 8 more to go. Gotta catch a replay. 26, 24, 25, 31, 32. These in some sort of order. Oh, AAP7 has just sold. AAP7 has just sold. Thank you so much. That's this one. Says I had to do a Zoom meeting. Oh, those Zoom meetings. Always taking your time away. All right, that was 32. So 33. Oh, good. I wrote the paper. was 14. I'm going to bring it down to 12. I don't think I can go much lower than that one. Okay, this is a mother of pearl strand. Beautiful strand. Vintage. One strand available. These are, they're kind of graduated. So they start smaller up here at about 13.5 wide, and they go up to about 15.5 wide. And this strand is, I believe, a 16-inch strand. Yeah, that's like over a 16-inch strand by a little. AAP, $33, $12. Ooh, I love this strand. Was 32. I know I've shown it a few times. Nobody's grabbed it yet. I'm going to bring it all the way down to $24 because nobody seems to like it as much as me. But if it doesn't sell this time, I might do something with it. This is horn, vintage horn. They're very light because they're horn. They have that kind of carnelian color to them. Look at that color. They're super pretty. I love this odd cut, but I mean, look, that'd be a great pendant, I think, like that, right? Because they're flat on the backs, so they could hang nice like that. You could hang something from them. Suzanne says I have a similar strand. It's just beautiful. These are beautiful. And I love that natural horn. This is a vintage strand. These pieces are approximately 25 millimeters wide by 35.5 long. AAP 34. Move this one up here. Very warm colors, warm feel to them. AAP 35 was $28, now $24. Super good price. This is green fluorite. Green fluorite. Gina says we don't get price. What do you mean? What are you asking me? What are you saying? You get the price that's there on the item. These are extra pretty in person, says Andrew. These are super pretty. Green fluorite nuggets. If you're watching from outside the US, these are all US dollars. Green fluorite nuggets, tumbled nuggets. These are approximately 13 millimeters by 19.5. She says that's what I get for multitasking. Suzanne says, where's Barnaby? Cinnamon just brought a sock to share. That's cute. That's very cute. I don't know. Barnaby is probably waiting out on the steps for me. He normally waits for me on the lives outside the door on the steps, the top of the stairs. Unless he's down with Andrew. I did give them some sardines before the show tonight. So he might be not waiting. Oh, he's in the basement. He's down in his man cave, having some time to himself. Okay. These are I think they're called Stardust. These little Stardust spacers in these little, there, can you see them? How sparkly they are. These little rondelles. And these are approximately just about 7 millimeters by about 4. And you get the strand, only $4 for the whole strand. $4 for the strand. These little stardust beads. Oh, the horn is covering the price. Sorry. $24. $24. 36 just sold right quick. $4, that's a good deal on those, right? All right, so that one's gone. Oh, somebody else just tried to grab it. Sorry, I've only got one left. Only got one of those left. AAP 37. Let me see, how many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So this would be about $32. I'm going to bring it down to 20. 20 for y'all. How many are on the Stardust strand? Asked Andrew. I might have some loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. About 28 of them. 28 of them. If Andrew has some loose, we'll be able to sell another strand of those. Okay, these are beautiful amethyst. Normally in the store, this quality would be about $4 a strand, or $4 a bead. Beautiful amethyst stones. And so that's where I got the 32 from. And taking it down to 20 for them all tonight. So 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. Have a nice quality amethyst faceted stones. They are drilled. You can see the holes. They're nice and clear, most of them. This is the only one that's a little bit less clear. Nice amethyst. Get the whole lot of them for $20 instead of $4 each. 2, 4, 6, 8. Less than $3 each. A little more than $2 each. AAP 37. AAP 38 is this ceramic pair by Earthenwood Studios. It's in this beautiful kind of off-white gray color. I think it's perfect for winter. Nice little connector set. She no longer makes ceramics, so this is one of the last. And just one available, only $8. Earthenwood Ceramics, artisan made, AAP 38. Boy, this is a really ceramic heavy show, isn't it? We've had my ceramics, we've had Harry's ceramics, now Earthenwood ceramics. AAP 39 was $16, going down to 10. Is this beautiful tiger eye pendant. Beautiful vintage pendant. Look at the flash, that chatoyance on there. You've got like this one stripe down the middle that doesn't flash. I think it's super nice. I love that. And this pendant is about 35.5 by 45. We've just sold 35, the green fluorite. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that away. The stripe is called Tiger Iron. Thank you, Andrew. Tiger Iron, which is in itself a lovely bead, lovely stone. The tiger eye with the tiger iron. And it really does, tiger iron often has that, if you get a nice sample, it has that really kind of rich mahogany color. Look at that. Ooh, what a nice pendant. One of those available, $10 only. And what are we going to end on tonight? Let's end on this. AAP 40. $1. $1 is this brass pressing of a crown. These are vintage, done in Providence, brass pressing. One of those available, just $1, AAP 40. All right, now let's put some of these away. Oh, 39 just sold. Thank you so much. We'll put that one away. Whoa! As I drop it to the floor. 39. 40 just sold. That's that little crown. Thank you so much. We're going to do some giveaways here toward the end now. How about that? Let me see what I can round up for some nice giveaways for everybody. Don't leave. Don't leave, y'all. In order to get the giveaways, you do have to either have an order on hold with us or have placed an order tonight. We don't ship giveaways for free. Sorry, but we can't do that. Let me see here. 26. I don't think that sold before. That has just sold. Thank you. That was the Eagle Eye, I believe. So that just sold. Appreciate that. Let me clear the deck here a little bit. 38 is still available. Oh no, 38 is sold. Thank you so much. 38 is sold. Okay, let's see here. And can put these away. These amethysts down to $20. Beautiful stones. AAP 37 still available. AAP 34, the horn, still available. And 33, the mother of pearl, still available. Gilbert is in a really playful mood, says Andrew. He was just up here clawing on the door trying to get in, little boy. I think he likes this cooler weather. It's been making him playful lately. Okay, let's do some giveaways. How about it? How about it? Okay, here we have this is vintage check. These little beautiful top drilled. These are really popular. I shouldn't be giving these away because they actually sell really well. But you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these. And in order to get this, you have to answer the question, what was the color of our second store, our second location? What was the color of our second location for Allegory Gallery? First person, you just have to say this in the comments. You do not have to send us an email for this one. And Kimberly got it with beige. So Kimberly, you get these. And put your name on it. Congratulations. Those are yours. And let's see. How about these? These are vintage check. These large hole. They look like pony beads, but they're glass. They're vintage check. And let's see, what is the question to get these? The question is, let me think about something we've been talking about. Oh, how about this? Which anniversary is it for us at Allegory Gallery today? What year anniversary is it for us? Kimberly got that one too. 14. 14. Kimberly was the quickest on that. So you get that as well. And let's see here. What else do I have? How about these? Those are cute. About these. Nora says, Kimberly, what kind of super speed computer are you on? With a laughing face. I know, Kimberly's quick. How about these lamp work? These lamp work drops. We'll do these as a giveaway. Lamp work glass drops. And the question here, Andrew mentioned the type of business his dad had. What business did his dad have? And that'll win these lampwork glass drops. 10.5 millimeters by about 16. And Kimberly got those as well with landscaping. That is correct. Landscaping business. First one to get that. Those are yours as well, Kimberly. And let's see. Let's do one more, everybody. One more. What do I have in here? Let me move over here. Let's move over to here. Let's give away one of these Halloween kits. Let's give away one of these Halloween kits. She said, okay, I slowed way down on that one, but I will hold off more on the next. You don't have to. It's all fair in the giveaway time, right? These are made with the Vaseline glass. You get this button, which glows under a black light. Sorry, I changed my mind. I got to give a good effort for this one. You get the Vaseline glass here. And you get, I think this is an AG fine pewter bead here, and the 2 vintage check. Okay, to answer this one, I mentioned that my dad had a business with his brothers. What was that business? What was that business that my dad had with his brothers that I mentioned earlier in the show? And you get this one. And we'll see who was paying attention. Anybody? People are still... I was like, people are really holding off on this one. Kimberly says mechanic. Yes, mechanic and auto body for cars. They had their own garage. And so you get that one too. No one else even tried for that one. No one else even tried for that one. All right, y'all. I got to remember to take this one out of stock. This one I got to remember to take out of stock because that's in the online store still. All right, everybody. And that's it for tonight. We are going to do this all week long. because it is not only anniversary week, but it is Small Business Boost Week. So Andrew's got some paintings, like we showed you the previews that he's working on, hopefully for tomorrow or Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday is going to be our time with Ava, but we'll still probably throw in some giveaways and throw in some fun stuff in the mix there. So please do feel free to tune into those if you can, because we want to support Ava too, right? So she's coming a long way to be with us, and we hope we have a great show. So please share that with your friends and let people know. Oh, one other thing I wanted to do tonight is I wanted to talk about some people have been posting some beautiful things they've been making in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. So if you haven't seen these, our friend Anne made this using the pendant from Andrew. And I think that came out so nice. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, I hope you do. It's a really beautiful piece. Sorry, as I'm choking. And I think it came out really well. I was very excited about that. And I think that's some tourmaline. I believe it's the tourmaline, and she added some of those little stardust beads, maybe the ones we actually just had. I think she used some rounds though, I can't remember. So those are beautiful stardust beads with the tourmaline, with Andrew's pendant. Susan's going good night. Gina's good night. Good night, everybody. Kimberly says, that is gorgeous. I love the one that Anne made, says Norma. I know, it's so nice. And then while we're on Anne, she also made this one using one of Andrew's pendants. And I think that came out so incredibly beautiful. Pendant by Andrew, gemstones from us here at Allegory. She made a beautiful beautiful necklace with those. Used stamped metal beads in there as well to separate the two kinds of different gemstones in this. Really, really pretty. And then our friend Sandra, she made these using the labradorite faceted stones, the drops that we had. And I think they came out so nice. I think that's an S-word crystal there with those. It looks really good together. And I was really pleased seeing those and how they came out. So thank you for sharing those too, Sandra. And let's see, what else did I pull here? This is from Norma. Norma made these with the Lamport glass beads, and there's a bunch of stuff in this. I think there's vintage check in here, Lamport beads, and some metal beads. And I think the metal beads and the clasp were not from us, but the rest, the reds, the blacks, the little ovals, and the larger lamp work are all from us here at Allegory Gallery. And I think that came out super pretty. Kimberly says, I love the blue flash in those fabulous, in the labradorite, yes. And super pretty, Norma, says Kimberly. And then we have this one from Norma as well. And I love this. I think it's so much fun. I know that this is a mix of at least the vintage pears, the vintage Czech, I think vintage Czech, maybe Western German, but vintage glass pears and the vintage plastic beads. And the yellows are also vintage Czech, and I think the bicones are vintage Czech as well, all from our vintage lots that we did at one point in time. And I just love how juicy and fruity and wonderful this is. So thank you for sharing that, Norma. And then Kimberly put this together using one of Andrew's pendants that he created. This is one of his enamel pendants. And Kimberly worked hard, I know, on this kind of I don't know what you go, spiral, I guess spiral rope necklace that she did, and it looks so pretty together. So pretty. Kimberly says, I love how bright that is. Norma's is super bright, right? I love how this came out. I love how this goes together with the pendant. And it looks great. So good job, Kimberly, on that one. And the last one I have just for today, I could have pulled a lot more. Harry posted a bunch of stuff recently, but I figured we were showing his work today, so I didn't want to pull any more. Norma says, that spiral rope is beautiful. My tension never comes out well. And Kimberly says, 3-bead herringbone spiral. Yeah, tension, that's a hard thing. This is from Suzanne. Suzanne made this using one of Harry's pendants. It's one of Harry's pendants. And then the tiger eye in this and the tiger iron in it are from us. So really cool look. I love when Suzanne does this multi-stone with chain. I think it's so cool. And I love how it looks like that connector is right up on the side instead of around back, which gives it a totally different look too. So good job, Suzanne. Thank you all. And thank you to everybody who posts in the Design Challenges group. It means a lot to us when you do. We love seeing your items that you've made using things you've gotten from us. And we encourage people, please continue posting there. We love to see what you're making. You don't have to post things that you've gotten from us necessarily. That is nice. And we hope people do continue doing that. But some people are new to us. They've never purchased from us before. And we're more than happy to see what you're making and what kind of things you make until you grab stuff from us. Then we want to see your stuff from us. Don't forget, we are doing the Small Business Boost Fundraiser. So that's what these things are going for, the things you're purchasing tonight. We're doing special things. We're trying to do something special every day. We'll see how that goes, but all this week we're going to have new special things out for y'all to try to make a little bit extra, to try to do the Small Business Boost fundraiser, to do some buyouts of some warehouse, that's the word, warehouse selling that some of our friends are doing right now, which will help us ease off on tariffs a little bit and also get a really good deal on items that are already here in the US that we can send. This is our cat Gilbert. We put him in the spaceship for the boosting. He's boosting off. This is Gertie. And you can tell it's Gertie. Oh, I can't point because she's got that little kissy spot on her mouth. The AI does not like to give Gertie more torty colors like she normally has. So she at least has that one mark. You can tell that's her. Otherwise, it looks like Ida Bell. But this is her in her little intergalactic spaceship hanging out, piloting away. So we were having fun making things with AI today. Kimberly says, thank you for highlighting all of us. This was very special. We try to do that every once in a while. I don't do it often enough. Y'all post a lot of stuff, and we'd like to do it all the time, but every once in a while I like to take the time out to do that. The Space Kitty images are so adorable, says Susan. I thought so too. I thought they came out pretty good. And Kimberly says, reminder, Creative Make-Along is Friday. Yes, that's the other thing. The Creative Make-Along is this Friday. So Creative Make-Along takes place in lieu of our live on Fridays. So from 7:30 until 9:30, you can join us on Zoom and we hang out together and make stuff. You can finish projects you're working on. You can try to organize your space if you want to, or you can just hang out. It's okay just to hang out too. But we call it a make-along because you pick what you want to make, and we just hang out and make stuff together while we chit-chat. And we get into some good conversations most of the time too. So that'll be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time till 9:30 p.m. on Zoom this Friday. All right, so this is a jam-packed week, y'all. We got lots going on. The biggest things going on are the Small Business Boost Fundraiser, Ava's coming, and the Creative Make-Along. Lots of stuff. All right. So thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. And we hope that you'll join us again tomorrow. And please share this with your friends. Let them know we have lots of stuff. We're going to have lots of giveaways all week long. And yeah, we'll see you then. I'm going to go do the spreadsheeting and the invoicing. And then we are going to make, I got some pizza for tonight. So we're going to have some pizza tonight. So thank you all for joining us. Kieran says, I'm looking forward to relaxing Friday with AG Bead Fam. Yes, I can't wait. I enjoy the creative make-alongs a lot. So thank you again, and have an amazing, amazing evening. Bye, everybody.